Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Zarate with CRNtv, and welcome to the channel Cooking at Home, where we mix business with pleasure, sharing homemade recipes while also covering hot channel topics. And here with me today is Zix Corp's Justin Glibert. Thank you for joining me, Justin.
Thanks for having us. This is awesome. I can't wait to actually show you guys what we have that we're going to cook for you guys.
And we're excited to see what you're going to be heating up in the kitchen. So who do we have here?
So I'm Justin Glibert, and this is my little buddy, Oliver Glibert, and he's going to be the one actually doing most of the work because, you know, I'm pretty lazy, to be honest.
Don't do that. That's not.
Well, Oliver, it's great to have you joining us today as well. So what recipe will you guys be sharing with us today?
Yeah, so we're going to make a prosciutto and arugula topped pizza. Which is fantastic for like a dinner, and what's even better about it is at the end I'm going to go over a little secret hint on how you can make it even better for breakfast the next day.
Who doesn't love pizza for breakfast?
I know, right? I know.
What ingredients do we need?
All right, so I'm going to go through all of these now. I'm not going to cover making the pizza dough because, to be honest, that's a pretty intensive sort of thing, but you're going to need pizza dough to start with. Fresh is better, obviously, homemade. Mozzarella. A balsamic reduction is preferable. You can find very easy ways to make that online. Prosciutto, fresh minced garlic, red pepper flake, dried Italian seasoning or oregano, whichever one you have. Salt and pepper, olive oil, arugula, Parmesan cheese, lemon juice, and a little bit of extra flour for dusting the actual tabletop that you're working.
And what are the first few steps?
All right, so Oliver, I'm gonna need your help here. We're gonna take this dough out here and we're gonna roll it around. So Ollie, you got a rolling pin, that's great. If you don't have a rolling pin, you know, there's other ways to do this. You can obviously press it if you need to, or you can use just a chair leg if you really don't have anything else. And you wanna kind of keep this, I mean, a circle is better for sure. And the thing is, I'm pretty lucky in that I married a chef, so my wife normally is the one who does all this. So you're gonna get a non-circular pizza from us for sure. And a little bit of flour, never hurt anyone to keep it from sticking to your surface. And then you're gonna oil, while Ollie's doing that, go ahead and keep rolling it, buddy. While he's doing that, I'm just gonna basically just pour a little bit of oil on this one. Once again, there is no such thing as too little olive oil or too much olive oil. And then at this point, we're then just going to throw this on the pan. That really is all it took. We're going to throw this on the pan here. And when we throw it on there, as I mentioned, we're just going to put a little bit more olive oil on top of it. We're going to put some garlic. This is minced garlic. Minced garlic is, you can use the stuff in the store that's already pre-minced, but to be honest, fresh is way, way better. And then we're gonna sprinkle some red pepper flake.
Yummy, I love red pepper. I like the black pepper.
Yeah, black pepper, so we have that here as well. So Ollie's a big fan of that. He likes that on his salt and pepper chips. Or sorry, this was the Italian seasoning we just put on there. At this point, we're then just gonna throw it in the oven. And it's gonna go in there for about 12 minutes. So at that point, we're ready to rock and roll. And voila! Now it's cooked for 12 minutes.
Awesome.
I know. So that's going to cook for about 12 minutes here. We're going to set that timer and let that do its little business there.
Now let's switch gears. As businesses look to expand their work from anywhere initiatives past this pandemic, how are you helping customers of all sizes stay productive and secure?
Prior to this pandemic, we were already really hyper focused on doing two things. One, on helping our partner community and our customer base to understand how our relationship with Microsoft enables us to be able to deploy the entire Microsoft suite of services around the mailbox, but then the productivity side, and how we are able to take that that really deep relationship we've always had with Microsoft and wrap a layer of security around it with our own IP. And so Zix and AppRiver joined forces about a year ago, and when we did that, we basically married two amazing security and compliance companies together, and we were able to create this new, what we call Secure Modern Workplace, that is just this entire layered wrapper that goes around Office 365. to help protect our customers. So we were working on that before the pandemic, and it's now more relevant than ever just because of the way remote workforces are set up.
And what are you hearing from customers who are going through the cyber transformation?
What's interesting is that the security itself is amazing. Like, our security is top notch. But what really sets us apart and really kind of helps take our customers on this journey and kind of sets them off in a nice path is the support. So if you look at the way that Zix River does support, it's on a whole different level. I mean, we support partners so they look like rock stars. We make the client migration into a new secure platform as easy as possible. And so what we hear from customers for the most part is really around our really care and attention that we pay to making their onboarding and their ongoing maintenance and support just a totally different experience than you would have normally in the tech industry.
Why should customers move their archive and compliance systems to the cloud?
That's a really good question. So there's lots of reasons why someone might move to the cloud, but some of the more obvious reasons are things like cost efficiencies, right? I mean, if you have to go out and have this capital expense of buying new equipment, new servers, and then you have to pay someone to manage that, their time could be better spent by doing far more important things than managing a server. So that's one reason. The other reason is you take what is a small team usually inside of a company managing infrastructure and security and compliance, and who have many other jobs, many other hats they wear, and you outsource that to a company like us who has decades of experience managing compliance and security, and hundreds of people whose sole jobs are dedicated to making your security and compliance better. It just makes a lot of sense. And we have stuff done here. Sorry. All right. So that's done.
So talking before, you shared news of some new features Zix is working on for its partner community. What can you tell us about that?
We realized that there are some areas that we could really improve, and not just improve, but create something that's best of class in the channel, and that's around training, sales, and business enablement, helping our partners to become better business owners, better sales owners. And so some of those features are things like, we want to help walk a partner through who maybe is an IT consultant or a value-added reseller, and they want to bridge the gap and move into a managed services model. We want to actually help enable that by bridging the gap and getting them with other MSPs who have already made that journey, and help kind of facilitate that introduction, help them learn from one another. And then we want to take that a step further and build a massive amount of training and enablement around that migration from one of those old or one of those other models to that MSP model. And we want to make that really comprehensive, like a 6-month training course.
Now, what are the remaining steps to this delicious pizza?
The last remaining steps is we're going to put on the toppings, and once we pull this, once we put this pizza in, it's going to go in for about 5 minutes. It's still at 400 degrees. And with these, with what we're going to put in here, we're going to put in mozzarella first on top of it. And the mozzarella is, you can have that shredded mozzarella, but these chunks are perfect. These little chunks of mozzarella. So we're going to put some on the song here. So go ahead, bud, put some of that on there. And then we're going to put some prosciutto on top of that. And if your wife is a chef like mine, she'll tell you to keep your prosciutto in the fridge right until you're ready to use it, so it doesn't stick together. And while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead. Sorry, I need to go ahead and set my timer here so I don't forget. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of lemon juice on the arugula. That's lemon juice. So just a little bit, and it's to taste, really. So there's no measuring with a lot of this stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we're going to mix once again a little bit of olive oil. It's your friend, so don't be afraid to use it. And we're then going to kind of just mix this around inside of that, so that way it's got a nice coating on it, because arugula is pretty bitter, and so you want to be careful. You want to kind of offset that with things like lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil. And then once that pizza comes out, at that point, we're going to go ahead and put the arugula on top and the balsamic reduction.
That sounds amazing. I cannot wait to try this pizza myself and make it at home. I mean, you can't go wrong with anything you just told me.
No, and there is one way to make this 1,000 times better. As we mentioned earlier, the best thing you can do is have pizza the next morning. But a way to really make this nice is if you put a little bit of a fried egg on top. So just put one fried egg on top of a couple of slices of this in the morning. It's one of the best ways to have pizza the next morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.